off this shitty fucking product by coming on here and speaking the fucking goddamn truth about this fucking filth. And I can book a better show taking a fucking dump after eating my fucking Chipotle chorizo with extra cheese. I don't give a fuck what anybody has to say. Have I ever? Of course not. WWE is great, man. Fuck you, Japan, and Okada. Sonny! What is it, man? Can I suck your dick? What is it, man? Well, this is the #1 fucking podcast right here on YouTube.com. This is off the script. Man, this is really fucking disheartening, man. I actually recorded a cold open for the show. And I went about 20 minutes. Or so. And the entire thing got fucked up. I don't know how. I don't know what happened. All I know is the fact that I recorded 20 minutes and I'm sitting here with absolutely no audio. No audio whatsoever. I went over a great 20-minute rant on where the Shield is going to go, how WWE is going to book the Shield, and then all of a sudden, I get nothing but static when I went to go watch the video back. The bullshit I have to deal with taking the show on the road, man. I want to do something different. As you guys see, the backdrop of the Atlantic City skyline is here. I'm in the Hard Rock Casino right now. And I needed to stay in a secluded area to do this show. If I usually stay where I usually go, if I went to go visit my friend and stay with him, I would not be able to take the show on location with you guys. And I'm going to the Standalone Wrestling Convention tomorrow just to conduct some business. Maybe hand out some business cards and meet and greet some people. You know, have a good time. But I'm here in Atlantic City, man. Got here early this afternoon. I went to have some lunch. I went to a German beer garden on the boardwalk. I had some nice craft beer. I had a Moscow Mule. Gotta have my Moscow Mules, bro. But to sit here in the room when I should be out there enjoying myself, you know, I'm doing this for you guys. And when I went to go listen to the shit back, nothing but static. And it kind of angers me. So, if I talk about anything Roman Reigns related, you guys might be getting an angry rant, as always. But this is off the script, man. I'm on location. No cold open. I can't do it. I'm not going to waste my fucking time. I'm going right through. So hopefully this works out this time. But thank you guys so much for joining me. And I am on location in Atlantic City, New Jersey. This is episode 236, part number 2, for your Saturday afternoon. If you guys missed part 1, link will be in the annotation that you see above in the top right corner. We talked about AJ Lee. AJ Lee being called by Vince McMahon to possibly appear at Evolution. So we don't know what's happening with that. It's merely speculation at this point. Don't take anything as serious as you should be. Take it with a grain of salt. We won't know. Evolution shaping up to be a fucking failure as always with WWE and the women's division, just like it is on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live. The same bullshit. You know, I don't need to repeat myself. If you heard that scathing rant in part 1, you guys know the deal on how I feel about the current direction of the women's evolution. Anyway, moving on, man. I got some stories here. I got a heavy favorite for the Royal Rumble already. I got plans for the Shield. I got plans for Kurt Angle. Why isn't he on Monday Night Raw? And why he's being taken off the road. Bunch of stuff we're going to go over. So sit tight. It's going to be a good show, as always. Follow me on social media, man. At JDFROMNY206 on Twitter. Please also make sure you guys subscribe down below. Hit that bell. Turn on that bell for all notifications. If you guys want to support the show, as always, man, you guys know the deal. Harrys.com/support. script. Now, I don't have the fancy fucking picture that you guys usually see every week. I didn't really load my laptop up with everything, but you guys know the deal. Harrys.com/script. You guys are going to get a free trial shave set on the house. All you have to do is pay shipping and handling. $2 or $3, you have the best shave of your life. And I've been talking to representatives over at Harry's, man. They're going to be sending me a bar of soap, and they're going to be sending me some body wash, which some of you guys have already reached out to me and told me, JD, you're going to love it. So I can't wait to get my hands on that stuff, man. But listen, you're going to get a free blade, you're going to get a free razor handle, a protective case, and the foaming shave gel, which every time I shave, I don't even bother looking at anything else. I don't even bother using anything else, man. That shave gel lathers beautifully, smells great, feels good on your skin, and you're going to go and have the best shave of your life, guaranteed. So please believe me, man, I never put my name to something that I do not believe in. Harrys.com/script. Also, Audible, audibletrial.com/offthescript. You guys are going to get 1 month free of Audible service and 1 free audiobook of your choice. Please go and check that stuff out. Great way to support the show. And if you guys have already signed up, please spread the word of Audible. Give it to a friend, a family member, a work colleague, a classmate, the fucking goon at the deli that you buy your Arizona iced teas from. Give the gift of Audible if you have already signed up, man. audibletrial.com/offthescript. And please, if you guys want to support the Patreon page, I got to mention this, man, because there's legit content going up on the Patreon page. I just uploaded, as of yesterday, I uploaded a 1-hour podcast documenting my thoughts, current day, to the Bayley-Sasha Banks match at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn in 2015. I don't believe I actually did a review on that show. I didn't do a review on that show, but I did a review on it yesterday, and I went live. If you guys want to be $5 or more patron, you guys can hear that extra hour of audio. Plus, I did the 1993 King of the Ring, where I talk about all the inside juicy details about why WWE actually set up the King of the Ring for Bret the Hitman Hart, and why Hulk Hogan did not want to fight Bret Hart, but he wanted to drop the title to Yokozuna instead. So you guys got 2 hours of extra audio if you guys want to be a $5 or more patron. Patreon.com/JD206, man. Let me start off with this Shield nonsense, bro. Now, you guys know how I feel about the WWE agenda with the Shield and WWE pushing Roman Reigns and the agenda down our throats, and how they're merely using Rollins and Reigns and Ambrose together to ward off the demons that Roman Reigns cannot escape. They're using Ambrose and Rollins legitimately. You might as well include Braun Strowman in that situation. They're using Rollins, Ambrose, and Strowman as a legit meat shield so that they can deflect the negative reaction to Roman Reigns. This isn't about getting the most heralded group in modern day WWE back together. This is not about the hounds of justice fighting for the right thing in WWE. This is about merely suppressing Roman Reigns and the negative reaction that he is bound to get because of his Universal Championship win at SummerSlam, and just Roman Reigns in general, because he's the champion that we don't need, and he's the champion that nobody wants. The Shield made their return to WWE this past week, as you guys know, and people were claiming that it was one of the best Monday Night Raw endings in recent memory. Fuck you on everybody that said that. There was an agenda behind it. I knew it. You knew it. What's so great about it? Stop sucking the WWE dick and get with the fucking program already. Braun Strowman was about to cash in his Money in the Bank contract on Roman Reigns for the Universal title when the original Shield music hit. Rollins and Ambrose, all dressed in black, made their way to the ring and attacked Braun Strowman, stopping his cash-in from taking place. The Shield has arguably been the biggest stable in the WWE in current times, and it seems as though WWE has some interesting plans for all of them. According to Cage Side Seats, the plan is now for the Shield to receive the run they were supposed to have before Reigns got the mumps and before Ambrose got injured last year. The Shield briefly came back together this time last year when Reigns, as well as several other superstars, Bray Wyatt included, came down with the mumps as that disease spread throughout the company. Dean Ambrose picked up an injury not long after Reigns returned, resulting in the whole Shield angle being scrapped at that moment. Ambrose was actually injured at TLC when Sheamus botched a table powerbomb on Ambrose. It originally did not break. He did it again and slammed Ambrose so hard that Ambrose got injured in the process. Now, people are claiming that the Shield is heel after what they did to Braun Strowman. Negative. You're not going to believe that Ambrose, who comes back to a hero's welcome, Rollins, who was probably one of the hottest guys at SummerSlam when he won the Intercontinental Championship, and then Reigns, who has no fucking relevancy in any of this because he's a fucking piece of shit. You're not going to claim that they are a heel faction because of what they did. Don't believe the narrative. Do not. WWE put them together because they are trying to attempt to get Braun Strowman into a heel role. And they are afraid to turn Roman Reigns heel. They are afraid to embrace the fact that nobody wants this guy where he is. They're afraid to embrace the fact that he is a legitimate heel. Yet they try and portray him as a hero. He is a hero to WWE. He's a hero to the locker room. He conquered the beast. But he gets booed out of the building. But then WWE, Triple H, management, Reigns himself, all his peers, they stick up for Reigns and say, well, isn't he heel already? How are you going to portray someone as a modern-day Superman and then have him be booed and then correlate that as a heel? Same thing with this Becky Lynch situation. Why? Because she got cheers, but she comes off as a heel. And it's not even a true heel. It's borderline heel. People are saying Becky Lynch is now a heel. No. Until that crowd legitimately, vehemently hates that woman, she's not a heel. Rollins ain't a heel. Ambrose ain't a heel. Reigns ain't a heel. And there's no way you're turning Braun Strowman into a heel. It's all a political agenda to suppress and minimize Roman Reigns, as the reactions that he is surely going to get as the year goes on are going to be just as worse as ever. And if you believe the Shield is back for any other reason, you are a gullible fuck. I don't need to explain myself anymore. Following the Shield's return on Raw and the attack on Strowman, many fans came to the conclusion that the stable was a heel faction. However, that appears to not be the case if we look ahead and see how the Shield will be booked in the near future. According to Ringside News, who I hate them, by the way. I don't take news from them, but they're here. WWE is advertising the Shield versus Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, and Baron Corbin for the October 15th Raw in Philadelphia, indicating that they are, in fact, a babyface group. So you reform the Shield to go against the vile threat, the Monday Night Raw threat of a wrestler well past his prime, Drew McIntyre, and a guy that nobody gives a shit about. That's why you brought the Shield back. If that doesn't spell or speak to you as agenda for Roman Reigns, I don't know what to tell you. You're a gullible fuck. That is god-awful. And I stand behind my words. If you did not bring the Shield back to feud with a group like the Undisputed Era, then you're doing it all wrong. And wait till you see what WWE might have planned if that is not really the reason why they put them back together. Certainly the Shield's attack on Strowman at the end of Raw this week confused fans as to whether or not the stable is face or heel. But it looks as though, from their booking, they're going to be a face. Now, the attack on Strowman could simply be Ambrose and Rollins sticking with their Shield brother to make sure that he doesn't lose the Universal Championship via the Money in the Bank cash-in. but we all know what the real agenda is. Keep Roman and the negative reactions to a minimum. Let's use the white-hot reactions of Ambrose and Rollins to suppress that. And then use Braun Strowman as a fucking puppet. He was a puppet on SummerSlam night. He was a puppet on Monday Night Raw. And everybody seems to overlook that fact. You still suck? I still hear that chant ringing out through the Barclays Center. But Roman Reigns is over, though, right? If it was over, 15,000 people would not be chanting, you still suck. Or you both suck. Fuck out of here. Bray Wyatt, this is the other plan here. Bray Wyatt teasing reuniting the Wyatt family with Braun Strowman. Please, hang me outside this window, dangling like the Joker in The Dark Knight. Please. At the end of Monday Night Raw this week, we all seen what happened. Braun Strowman failed his cash-in. Bray Wyatt immediately took to Twitter, teasing, possibly helping out Braun Strowman against any attacks by Reigns, Rollins, and Ambrose in the future. Bray Wyatt took to Twitter and recently retweeted the comments he made before the 2014 Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, which featured the Wyatt family versus The Shield in a 6-man tag. Fantastic fucking match. Amazing match. He retweeted 2014 warning to The Shield, and he wrote, "Forget not." He quoted his own tweet on Twitter. Besides a reference to the past, this could also be seen as a response to Reigns on Monday. Reigns tweeted after Raw went off the air, and I quote, "You act like you forgot? Hashtag our show. Hashtag my yard." This is why many have connected the dots and have speculated at the possibility of Wyatt coming to the aid of Strowman in the future should he have any more trouble with the Shield. Wyatt is currently without a program as his Deleters of Worlds tag team with Matt Hardy is over. It's over. Since Hardy is taking time off for his injuries, meaning he's free to feud with the Shield if need be. If they wanted to, WWE could reunite most of the Wyatt family and put them back together in a feud with the Shield. While Wyatt and Strowman are on Raw, Harper is on SmackDown Live, but he doesn't have any storylines moving forward at the moment due to an injury to Eric Rowan. Bringing him into the feud would be a great way to use him while Rowan is recovering. I don't like that because Rowan and Harper were their own men on SmackDown Live. If they bring them back into the Wyatt family, Rowan is going to be an irrelevant piece. He'll go back to being irrelevant. Meanwhile, with Harper as the Bludgeon Brothers, he has a significant role in that tag team. I don't like that whatsoever. Now, as far as the Bludgeon Brothers go, this is something that all correlates together. This all correlates together here. The Bludgeon Brothers actually had bigger plans in place for them before Eric Rowan got hurt. Mike Johnson of PW Insider said they were not supposed to switch the tag team titles this week. Unfortunately for Harper and Rowan, they lost the tag team titles this week. Rowan got hurt. There was a larger role planned for both of them coming out of the pay-per-view, coming out of SummerSlam. I don't know what it was or what it is, but the injury is why they did the tag team title switch to the New Day. Rowan is set to undergo surgery this week in Birmingham, Alabama. The injury is similar to what sidelined Drew McIntyre last year. We'll see what happens next with Luke Harper, because Rowan's injury is going to keep him out of action for at least 6 months. Drew McIntyre was a beast. He came back in about 4.5. You know, he's a little younger than Eric Rowan, I believe, but we'll see what happens. But I am not in the mindset to see another rinse and repeat rehashed feud with the Shield and the Wyatt family. And if you're gonna do that, you better fucking start booking the Wyatt family with some seriousness behind them. You can't be booking the Shield to go over. That shit better end with Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt coming out on top. Because if you're gonna sell me on Bray Wyatt, I don't think there's anything for you guys to do right now to sell me on Bray Wyatt. There's no reason why I'm gonna sit here and believe the Wyatt family is gonna be a threat to the Shield. What happened last time? They weren't. Bray Wyatt went on a meaningless run every single year after that. Fed to Reigns, losing to Cena, losing to this one, a tag team with Matt Hardy because they had no other creative plans for him. What are you going to do? You're going to feed the Wyatts to the Shield? Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, and Baron Corbin doesn't really equal threat on Monday Night Raw. Wow, the ratings are really going to skyrocket with that one. If you're not booking the Wyatts to go over the Shield, you're automatically booking yourself into a failure. Strowman better come out of this with the Universal Championship. Bray Wyatt better be coming out of this looking like $1 million. Because if there's anybody on that show that needs a resurrection, it's Bray Wyatt. Luke Harper? Not really all that interesting to see him feud with Rollins and Ambrose. You did this in 2014. You're going to try and do it again in 2018? Listen, if that's the best creative ideas that you have for Monday Night Raw, maybe you should step away and give somebody a new start or a fresh take. That's not really going to get you through the fall and winter months. Doesn't equal excitement to me. The only team that would bring the Shield to the brink of excitement is the Undisputed Era. And God forbid they are on Monday Night Raw. I don't believe we have to sit here and watch Braun Strowman be a puppet. I don't believe we have to sit here as Seth Rollins with the Intercontinental Championship is withering away as a puppet. Dean Ambrose, a fucking puppet. Now, if you put Braun Strowman with AOP and battle the Shield, that's a different story. At least that's fresh. Or if you use this Shield reunion to just merely get Ambrose over as a heel and betray his brothers, then the Shield reunion would have been fulfilling. Because you're building somebody up in the meantime. And you're not making Roman Reigns the focus. You're not making him the focal point of this. I don't understand how everybody's finding this to be exciting. Greatest Monday Night Raw ending in weeks, in months. Do you see what they're doing? I'm a fan just like you guys. I've been watching this shit for 30 plus years. You don't think I'm a fucking fan? But I also don't like my intelligence insulted. They're trying to write the narrative that you don't want to see. They're trying to go away from the narrative that the fans are giving them. They want Strowman. They want to see Strowman as the Universal Champion. We don't want Roman. So they're rewriting the narrative, making you look like a bunch of idiots. They're trying to write the narrative of Strowman being a heel and the Shield bringing justice. Not to the WWE. Their thing was about bringing justice to the WWE. But they're bringing justice to Roman. Because if you really think about it, what is Braun Strowman doing that is against the law? Is he breaking rules? Is he breaking the law? Is he going against what is right? He's got a briefcase to cash in at any time he wants, any day he wants, against Roman Reigns, who is right now, coincidentally, the Universal Champion. If you're going to zing him and point the finger of blame to Braun Strowman for him doing the wrong thing, you're pointing the finger of blame at the wrong individual. The finger of blame needs to be pointed at Vince McMahon because Vince McMahon is a fucking idiot if he thinks anybody's going to fall for this shit. Roman Reigns had the quickest celebration in SummerSlam history. Lex Luger got a bigger celebration, and he didn't even win the fucking WWE title. He didn't win the WWE title from Yokozuna in 1993. He got a longer and a bigger celebration than Roman Reigns did in 2018 when he beat Brock Lesnar, who conveniently held the title for 500 fucking days. You don't find that to be wrong? You don't find that to be a little fucked up? Yet you're eating this shit like fucking Jell-O. Like fucking pudding. You're just fucking gobbling it up like a fucking fat slob. Get with the fucking program. They are brainwashing, manipulating you, writing the narrative, going against their fans. Oh, WWE's great. Oh, JD's an asshole. JD thinks he's the smartest guy in the YWC. You better believe I fucking am. You ain't seeing it. Who's gonna see it? I am. And when I'm right at the end, you ain't still gonna give me credit. But I'll be here every fucking week telling you exactly what needs to be done and what WWE is doing to make you look like a fool. It's up to you at that point to realize that, listen, I'm tired of being treated like a fucking dummy. Let me start listening to JD and become a little bit wiser. Come on now. That ain't even it. We could be in for the worst WrestleMania main event of all time if WWE and the rumors of the Royal Rumble are actually 100% legit. Oh my God, man. I'm looking at this fucking news after reading all this and just explaining to you all this Roman Reigns, Shield, Braun Strowman, Wyatt family bullshit, man. I'm looking at this news, man, and it's mind-boggling to me how anybody would find this to be exciting. I really don't get it. I don't get it. This could be one of the worst WrestleMania main events of all time. And you know what? I would not put it past WWE to do it because it's inevitably coming. It's going to be a thing. The early odds have been put out for the 2019 Royal Rumble. The 2019 Royal Rumble has already been pegging Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, who in previous interviews has confirmed he was offered to wrestle at WrestleMania this year. He is going to be the odds-on favorite to win the Royal Rumble right now. If you guys go back to when The Rock was back in WWE just several years ago, he beat John Cena at WrestleMania 28 in Miami. The next year at WrestleMania 29, Cena beat The Rock to win the WWE title in New Jersey. The Rock's last match came at WrestleMania 32 against Eric Rowan, who I just finished talking about, in a brief singles match. The Royal Rumble pay-per-view takes place on Sunday, January 27th, 2019, from Chase Field, where the Arizona Diamondbacks play in Phoenix, Arizona. Both Raw and SmackDown brands will be featured. Sky Bet has released early odds for the Royal Rumble match. The Rock is currently favored to win the Rumble, 2-1 favorite right now for The Rock. Rounding out the list is Daniel Bryan, 6-1, Seth Rollins, 8-1, Braun Strowman, 9-1, Roman Reigns, John Cena, and Finn Balor all have 12-1 odds to win the match. As noted, Rock teased a desire to get back into a WWE ring. That match was pitched for WrestleMania 34. Vince McMahon pitched the idea of him wrestling on April 8th, 2018 in New Orleans, Louisiana. It was reported the original idea for The Rock was to team up with former UFC bantamweight champion, women's bantamweight champion, Ronda Rousey, at the event for her in-ring debut against Triple H and Stephanie McMahon in a mixed tag team match. Obviously, that went to Kurt Angle instead. But The Rock is favored to win the Royal Rumble right now. We are talking about the Royal Rumble. It is not too early to be talking about the Royal Rumble. WWE come October, November, they need to start planning for the Royal Rumble. Things need to be in place. Things need to be in line for WrestleMania. As soon as Survivor Series is over, that is the next big goal. Rumble leads to Mania. I would not be shocked if we see The Rock win the Royal Rumble. I would not be shocked to see The Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Last time Roman Reigns was at WrestleMania, obviously you guys know the deal. He was in a match with Brock Lesnar. It didn't go his way. WWE held off for SummerSlam. The coronation was at SummerSlam. I could absolutely, no question, undoubtedly see Dwayne Johnson in a Universal Championship match against Roman Reigns and The Rock putting over Roman Reigns. Do you know how nauseating that would be? So, what are we going to get? What is The Rock going to do at the age of 48 in a WWE ring? What are we going to see? People's elbows and rock bottoms and the crowd is going to eat it up? This is what you want to see, though, right? Because The Rock is the biggest paid or the highest paid movie star in all of Hollywood. You're going to get him in the main event of WrestleMania against your biggest guy. You're going to crown. Let me see that match get over the way WWE expects it to get over. That would be awful. Roman Reigns hasn't had a good main event match all year. You're going to put him in the ring with a 48-year-old Rock. So we're going to be, instead of F5s and ground and pound and suplexes, we're going to see rock bottoms and people's elbows and spears and Superman punches. My God, man, I can't wait for WrestleMania. That, to me, is the greatest WrestleMania of all time. Fucking horrific. It's a nightmare waiting to happen. But the funny thing is, I sit here and I don't doubt WWE at all for that match in New Jersey. It's happening. It might not happen next year. Now, he's not my choice to win the Royal Rumble. I'm going with Daniel Bryan to win the Royal Rumble. Fuck The Rock. Fuck Dwayne Johnson. He don't even need to win the Royal Rumble to challenge Roman Reigns. Guy could show up and be fucking blink his eyes and be gifted a WWE Universal Championship match. You're going to take the Royal Rumble away from a full-time guy? That's when I'm going to get pissed. When you start taking the Rumble away from full-time guys, that's when I'm going to get fucking pissed. If WWE books The Rock to win the Royal Rumble, my God, you thought my 2016, 2015 reviews were bad? You don't want to see me in 2019, man. I am not in favor of part-timers coming back and winning the Royal Rumble at all. I didn't like it when Batista did it. I'm not going to like it when Roman Reigns and The Rock is set up through the Royal Rumble either. Fuck out of here. WWE planned on Samoa Joe to win the WWE title at SummerSlam. One of the more interesting matches at SummerSlam was AJ Styles and Samoa Joe for the WWE Championship. The Phenomenal One was able to retain the WWE title on that night, but he lost on the night to the Destroyer after hitting him in the back with a chair, resulting in a loss via disqualification. The DQ occurred during the match after Joe taunted Styles' wife and child, who were at the event, which caused the WWE Champion to lash out at his challenger. According to reports, however, at one point, there was an idea to finish the match in a different way. Mike Johnson, a PW Insider, has reported that WWE considered potentially giving Joe the WWE Championship at SummerSlam, not Styles. This is very interesting, as if WWE had gone through with this would have been the first title reign for Samoa Joe on the main roster. Johnson didn't give a reason as to why WWE didn't go with Joe winning the title, but perhaps we'll get an answer by WWE themselves as they continue to build towards Hell in a Cell on September 16th. Although it is yet to be booked, which right now I am hearing it is all but confirmed, Joe versus Styles inside the Hell in a Cell. That seems to be, before it was even announced, the most logical of choices inside Hell in a Cell. The feud between Styles and Joe is showing no signs of stopping anytime soon, and it was intensified further this week on SmackDown Live when Samoa Joe pretty much berated Wendy Styles as he dragged the cameraman, yelling her name out ferociously as he choked out AJ Styles. He choked him out unconscious, mind you. A clash between the two at Hell in a Cell is definitely confirmed due to the ferocious nature of how their SummerSlam match unfolded and their meeting on SmackDown Live this week. It seems as though the Hell in a Cell is completely warranted for Joe and Styles for the WWE Championship. Whether or not it will end with Joe leaving as the new champion, that remains to be seen. So we got a confirmation here. Joe Styles, Hell in a Cell WWE Championship. If WWE was willing to give Joe the WWE Championship at SummerSlam, and they didn't do it, what do you think they're going to do at Hell in a Cell? Samoa Joe has been operating on grade A cylinders. You know, and I love AJ Styles just like the next guy. But I'm going to be completely honest with you, just like how I am with everything else. I love Styles, but WWE has, to me, run its course with AJ Styles as WWE Champion. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that I think WWE, with the whole Nakamura feud, I really feel that AJ Styles' title reign has suffered quite a bit. And it's to a point now where I feel Joe is so good at what he's doing, it would be an absolute crime to not give this guy a gift and a thank you for his hard work in form of WWE Championship gold. That's my honest opinion on that. I honestly believe Styles right now, though I love him, he's probably my number one or number two in the entire main roster, WWE on Raw and SmackDown. I honestly think AJ Styles right now is borderline. I don't want to say boring as WWE Champion because I would never use that word for AJ Styles. I think his time is up. It's like what we see in NXT and how we feel in NXT. When someone is champion long enough, we know that they're about to lose the championship and be called up. It just feels like AJ Styles has hit the end of the road. with the WWE Championship. And I know that's not the case. That should not be the case. Look at the fucking heel talent that AJ Styles has on that show to feud with. Joe, Nakamura. We just got through Nakamura. He's on to Joe now. Almas, Orton, Miz. Why would you take the title off Styles when you got the Miz looming? And the Miz, the WWE just booked the Miz in a number one contenders match for the Australian Super Showdown in October. Now, you might have missed it if you weren't on social media. Before the start of the week, WWE had only announced 2 matches for the Australian Super Showdown. Triple H versus The Undertaker, which we've seen Triple H come out and talk about on Monday Night Raw, and John Cena versus Kevin Owens. That was already confirmed. But this week, they announced 3 new matches for the Super Showdown show. One of them is John Cena's match. They actually changed John Cena's match. WWE announced that John Cena will be teaming with Bobby Lashley to face Elias and Owens at the event on October 6th in Australia. Following their reformation on Monday Night Raw, WWE has also revealed that the Universal Champion Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and the Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins will be teaming up at the event, probably more than likely against Ziggler, McIntyre, and Baron Corbin. However, the Shield's opponents right now are not determined. WWE also announced that The Miz will face Daniel Bryan, with the winner becoming the number 1 contender for the WWE Championship. The Miz and Bryan will meet in the ring before this match as they're set to face at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view on September 16th in a mixed tag team match. Miz will team with his wife Maurice, while Bryan teams with his wife Brie Bella. You got to be careful about how you do this, because if Joe is going to lose to Styles, he better shed blood and come out of that a wounded grizzly bear, but not a grizzly bear that looked to be... Remember that fucking Kodiak bear in that Anthony Hopkins movie? I forgot the fucking name of it. I keep forgetting the fucking name. It's not the Gray. That's with Liam Neeson, where he gets attacked by the fucking wolves. I forgot the fucking movie with Anthony Hopkins. Anyway, he's being chased by a Kodiak bear. His best friend betrayed him. His best friend had an affair with his wife. And he's being chased by a Kodiak bear. They're stranded in the wilderness. And he kills the Kodiak bear. That Kodiak bear looked fucking beast in that movie. He killed that fucking poor innocent black man at the camp because the fucking idiot hung the bloody clothing on the tree trunk like a fucking dumbass. The bear came looking for it. He smelled the blood. He invaded the camp and he grabbed the fucking guy by his leg and ate him alive. That's what Joe needs to do. That's the best interpretation for me to give you for Joe and Styles inside Hell in a Cell. Styles needs to have his leg eaten off. Ripped off by the Kodiak bear named Samoa Joe. But the bear in the end dies. The bear will live to fight another day. In this case, in Samoa Joe. Joe needs to go into that and he needs to dominate. He needs to come out looking like, listen, you may have won the championship, but you're the reason why you're going to lose the title to The Miz. The Miz is the perfect foil to AJ Styles. This works out brilliantly. Styles and Joe inside Hell in a Cell. He's easy pickings for whoever wins that match. Miz wins it, beats a weakened and defeated Styles. Joe can still feud with Styles. You don't have to end that feud. Joe can seek revenge against Styles and beat him when he's weakened. When he's at his weakest without the title. Miz wins the title. Bryan feels like a fucking loser. He's defeated. He goes on to win the Royal Rumble. Not The Rock. Wins the Royal Rumble. And then challenges The Miz at WrestleMania. Boom. Storyline right there. You can't go into Hell in a Cell and have Joe lose. And then, okay. Next. Joe needs to come out looking dominant. So, I'm loving it. First of all, I hate the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. I hate that we have to get a gimmick pay-per-view every fucking year because it's this time of the year. I wish I wish we haven't seen Hell in a Cell. It would be a little bit more important to Styles and Joe. But if there's one match on this show that needs Hell in a Cell, it's that. But I guarantee you we're going to get some sort of Hell in a Cell on Raw and Hell in a Cell on SmackDown. And I don't like that at all. But if there's one match on that entire fucking show, it is Styles and Joe inside Hell in a Cell. And I honestly, you're going to put those two in that type of environment, I can't fucking wait for it. Now, I did mention Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle was an honorary member of the Shield. I figured I got to talk about this. He was an honorary member of the Shield at TLC last year. Stephanie McMahon appeared on WWE's Raw show, the A show, according to some, whoever you talk to. Right now, it's the F show on Monday night to congratulate Ronda Rousey on her Raw Women's Championship win at SummerSlam against Alexa Bliss. Don't remind me. The Raw Commissioner was put into a armbar, and Ronda Rousey injured, quote-unquote, Stephanie McMahon. Now, while this storyline reason for Kurt Angle missing time on Raw, the potential reason for his absence from WWE Raw has since been revealed. According to Raja, the real reason why Angle is taking time off is because Raw next week is in Toronto, Canada, and due to his legal past issues, he may not be able to travel north of the border. Kurt wasn't on the show the last time the company held an event there on April 30th in Montreal, so this could be WWE's way of temporarily writing him off the show so he doesn't have to travel. Angle had his say on being relieved of his duties on Raw for a few weeks on social media after the show on Monday night, stating that he didn't know if his time away would be temporary or permanent. He said on Instagram, and I quote, "I'm really sorry that I won't be on Monday Night Raw for a while. I enjoyed every minute of it with the WWE Universe. I was told by Stephanie McMahon that I need a vacation. I don't know if it's a temporary or permanent one. I hope I will be back sooner rather than later. Thank you, WWE Universe. Much love. Hashtag it's true." Potentially, this storyline could be a way which WWE brings Angle back to the ring one more time, as reports have stated he could have a match against Baron Corbin in the near future for the right to pretty much be the general manager of Monday Night Raw. Hand me a fucking pillow and let's get to sleep already. If Angle's going to come back and fight Baron Corbin for supremacy on Monday Night Raw, you're better off just staying retired. That is god fucking awful. How many of you want to see Kurt Angle back in a WWE ring wrestling at the age of 50 plus? I guarantee you it's less than 2%. I am not interested in that whatsoever. I barely want Angle on my fucking television as GM. I'd much rather have Baron Corbin as the GM of Monday Night Raw. Nobody wants to see Kurt Angle back in a ring, let alone against Baron Corbin. Come on now. I mean, there was one time Angle needed to be back in the ring. One last time. One. That was it. He did it at WrestleMania. That was it. Rock couldn't be there. You filled him in with Kurt Angle. Done. He got his WrestleMania moment. He was in the best match of that entire show. Call it a day. There's nothing left for you to prove. Unless WWE is going to drag this McMahon Angle thing out where we get a one-on-one match with Angle and Triple H at WrestleMania. And by the time that happens, they're going to be older, they're going to be slower, and it's not going to be important whatsoever. Angle wrestling Corbin, my goodness, has WWE lost their fucking minds. Speaking of WrestleMania, WWE had 4 huge matches planned for WrestleMania 34. Now, WWE WrestleMania 34, it was not good. You want me to be honest with you, man? WrestleMania was awful. Just like it is every year. It's all spectacle. You sit there for 7 hours and you complain for 6. You may get a glimpse of something good and a match that's good here. But overall, it's all hype. It is all hype. Now, we had the Rollins-Miz Balor match. It was great. Nothing wrong with that match. The Bryan And McMahon match against Owens and Zayn, that was okay. Everything else on the show really didn't do much for me. Now, while those matches were great, there were some matches that WWE actually wanted to have on the show that could have been great, but they were eventually nixed or changed before the event. Now, John Robinson, he's an author of a WWE-backed book called Creating the Mania, an inside look at how WrestleMania comes to life, recently spoke to TheWrestlingState.com about his experiences backstage in WWE. He revealed 4 matches that WWE was hoping to have at WrestleMania 34 this past April before they eventually nixed or changed those matches due to injury. Those matches were the Usos versus The New Day, Kevin Owens versus Vince McMahon, Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose, and Jason Jordan versus Kurt Angle. Now, 3 of those 4 were pretty much presumed to be happening at WrestleMania. Injury. Ambrose was injured. Jordan got hurt. And Jordan Angle could have easily filled in and finished that fucking illegitimate son storyline, which now has gone unnoticed, swept under the rug. It doesn't matter anymore. Jason Jordan hasn't been mentioned, or you haven't heard a peep from Jason Jordan since he got hurt. But Owens versus Vince McMahon? Now, if there was one match that needed to be changed, it was that one. And if there's one match that took shape and formed and replaced that match, WWE did a damn good job at building McMahon, Shane, and Daniel Bryan versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Now, Usos versus New Day, WWE wanted to get the Bludgeon Brothers on the show. They gave us a triple threat match that lasted 6 minutes. I would have much rather seen the New Day versus the Usos in a grand tag team title match. Rollins versus Ambrose, it's coming. If WWE has a fucking brain in their head, it's coming. With Ambrose playing the heel. Angle versus Jordan, I'm over it. I don't care anymore. I cared about it happening at WrestleMania. I would have liked to seen it. But obviously WWE couldn't get The Rock. They failed to call back Batista to team with Ronda Rousey. So they plugged Kurt Angle in that role. And Jason Jordan had no role because he was hurt. He said via Wrestling Inc., look at the Usos in character. They've always wanted to be on the main card of WrestleMania, which indeed they were. For the first time in their careers, it lasted 6 minutes. Garbage. But in real life, it means so much to them, especially with the legacy of their father. They pushed so hard throughout the year to be able to get where they got. There were so many matches being pitched behind the scenes. The New Day versus the Usos, they were hoping some type of TLC match would happen out of that. Kevin Owens was hoping to wrestle Vince McMahon after the headbutt incident. They were also trying to do Kurt Angle versus Jason Jordan, but then Jordan got injured. All 4 of these matches would have been incredible, he says, to see at WrestleMania. But the one WWE fans would have wanted to see the most would have been Owens versus McMahon. Really? Really now? This isn't McMahon versus HBK, where HBK's jumping off a fucking 20-foot ladder as Vince McMahon is laying out on a fucking table through a garbage can. You know? This is 72-year-old Vince McMahon. How well would he have performed in the ring against Kevin Owens? That would have been god-awful. God-awful. Now, Mr. McMahon hasn't had a match inside a WWE ring since he faced Bret Hart in March of 2010 in a no-holds-barred match. No-holds-barred match. So it would have been great to see him back in the ring, he says, despite his age. Owens is one of the best workers in the company as well. So he and Vince would have found a way to put on an entertaining match at WrestleMania 34. My God, that would have been awful, man. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Holy shit. I honestly think WWE went about WrestleMania the right way, and it still ended up sucking. It still ended up being one of their worst shows of the year. All because it's WrestleMania doesn't mean it's one of the best shows of the year. Cut this shit. Finally, guys, we're going to end on this because I want to go drinking. Backstage news on the G1 Supercard selling out Madison Square Garden. It had previously been reported that the ticket sales for the Ring of Honor New Japan Super Show at Madison Square Garden sold over 12,000 tickets during the pre-sale a couple of weekends ago. According to a report from the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the show finally sold out in less than 19 minutes. Once tickets were made available to the public on August 10th. However, the significance of this is far behind this feat. While Ring of Honor officials would not release an exact gate number, it was confirmed to be well in excess of $1 million. This makes the event the largest gate for a non-WWE Pro Wrestling gate, not only in the United States, but almost anywhere in the entire world. This is an interesting number for a number of reasons. With this show taking place on April 6th, it means that WrestleMania will be taking place in the same city the next day at MetLife Stadium. If the company continues their current trend of bringing in top independent talent from around the world to the NXT brand, this could lead to some very interesting cross-promotional interactions between superstars. Dave Meltzer believes that the next 9 months, I quote, he says, the next 9 months will be the most fascinating and most pivotal time in this industry in more than 15 years. If WWE ain't fucking taking New Japan seriously after a $1 million proposed gate, $1 million at G1 Supercard. My God, man. Vince McMahon, I swear to God, you are going to see. This is what it's going to remind me of. Vince McMahon is going to be the George Steinbrenner of the wrestling industry. Remember when the Yankees were going on their reign of terror and they legitimately signed every fucking free agent? They were almost an all-star team based in New York, based in the Bronx. Vince McMahon is going to go the way of George Steinbrenner. He's going to have an open wallet. He's going to sign anyone and everybody with absolutely no vision or plan for them, and he's going to bring them into the WWE because he wants all the toys, he wants all the shiny new toys, and he's going to leave them on the shelf to collect dust because he doesn't want anybody to play with them. That's all it is. That's exactly what is going to happen. The Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega, Pentagon Jr., Phoenix, Rey Mysterio, Matt Riddle, and everybody else that you find to be a big deal in the independent scene, they are going to be taken by WWE. They are the new toys for WWE to play with. And they're going to be put on shelves, and they're going to be taken off the shelf when WWE wants to play with them. As long as they take those toys away from all the other children in the playground, that's all that matters to them. They don't want anybody else to have fun. This sandbox belongs to Vince McMahon. If you're going to come into my sandbox and start playing with your own toys, when I've been at this sandbox way longer than you have, I'm going to find my way to kick you the fuck out. And how is Vince McMahon going to do that? Let's open up the checkbook. Kenny, what do you want? 7 figures? You got it. It's all up to these guys to say, you know what? I have morals. I want to do what I want to do on my own time, and I want to see this thing grow. Or you go to the WWE, you sell out to the corporate machine, and boom. Your life is set. And they'll use you when they find time to use you. And everything that you work for is going to live on in memory, and there's nothing else to be built upon. Pretty shitty. But that's exactly what WWE is going to do. Just consider Vince McMahon George Steinbrenner. Come January, oh my goodness, man, we're going to see a New York Yankee takeover like we've seen in the mid-2000s with Vince McMahon. Mark my words. I'm getting out of here, man. This has been Off the Script. I hope you enjoyed the new setup. I might not have anything uploaded on Saturday until late, Sunday, rather. I might not have anything uploaded Sunday night until late, because I'm driving home on Sunday. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, part 2, man. A little different scenery. I got the showboat back there in the view, right here from my hotel room at the Hard Rock in Atlantic City. Hope you enjoyed this episode, man. If you did, please hit that thumbs up. Follow me on Twitter. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys on Sunday with more right here on Off the Script. I'll see you guys today. If you're coming to the standalone wrestling convention at the Claridge, I'll see you guys today. And then I'll be right back here on YouTube with part 3 of Off the Script. Until then, enjoy the weekend, guys, and I'll see you all on Sunday for part 3.